information. As an important intermediate node between 5G and 6G, 5G-Advanced needs to further integrate technologies such as DOICT and continuously evolve from the architecture and technology layers to meet diversified service requirements and improve network capabilities. This accelerates the integration of 5G into the industrial-side network, enabling thousands of industries. We're going to be releasing 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a network perspective white paper 2.0 here today. So what's the difference between the white paper 1.0 and 2.0? First of all, it is our great pleasure to invite Duan Xiaodong, Vice President of China Mobile Research Institute, to give an opening speech. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am Duan Xiaodong, Vice President of China Mobile Research Institute. Welcome to the 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a Network Perspective White Paper 2.0 launch. I'm sorry that I cannot go to the scene and talk to you due to the pandemic. In April 2021, 3GPP officially named 5G Advanced. In August, we and industry partners released the 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a Network Perspective White Paper 1.0, which elaborated the development concept and key technologies of 5G Advanced Network Technologies from three aspects: convergence, enablement, and intelligence. This white paper is the industry's first to analyze and describe the evolution and technical development of 5G networks. It is jointly written by more than 20 partners in the industry. It reflects the technical opinions of all parties in the industry. It has attracted extensive attention in the industry and provides a reference for the development of 5G advanced networks. Under the influence of the white paper and the efforts of all partners, R18-oriented network system architecture SA projects, 28 projects of this kind were successfully initiated at the 94th plenary meeting of 3GPP in December 2021, marking the formal start of 5G advanced standardization. The R18 technology covers multiple directions such as XR and multimedia enhancement, network big data analysis, direct link communication, and deterministic network, which is consistent with the technical direction of the 1.0. To keep pace with the development of technology and industry, we have joined with more than 20 partners to launch the 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a Network Perspective White Paper 2.0. Based on version 1.0, this very important white paper of version 2.0 is updated in four aspects. Let me elaborate on them. First, XR multimedia enhancement. QoS guarantee with finer granularity based on media stream characteristics. 2. Mobile computing power network, enhancing the perception of computing power on 5G networks, implementing collaboration between 5G core networks and edge computing, and provide optimal path and experience for users and services, and form integrated computing and network services. This is a very important area, and we are investing heavily in this area. Number 3. Network support for AI and ML services, which is highly popular today. It is under much expectation. The 5G network enhancement provides good pipe capabilities, on-demand information openness, and high-quality information sharing capabilities for AI ML services. Fourth, passive IoT, using technologies such as simplified networks, protocols, and lightweight security authentication to meet low-cost and ultra-large-scale access requirements for passive terminals. These are four areas that are the focus of the White Paper 2.0. But they do not stop here. The 5G advanced era has arrived, and China Mobile will work with industry partners to carry out in-depth cooperation to promote 5G network technology research and create a sustainable future. Here, I propose three suggestions to the industry. First, focus on key business scenarios, make joint breakthroughs and innovations, and jointly promote 5G development to maintain the advanced network. Second, grasp the pace of innovation, guide the orderly promotion of 5G-A standards, and ensure the integration and unification of standards. Third, accelerate transformation, combine innovation and industry. Shorten the time window for technology transformation to build a 5G-A industry ecosystem. Finally, I wish you a successful release of 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a Network Perspective White Paper 2.0. I wish you good health and all the best. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Duan Xiaodong, for his wonderful speech. The next is the release of our 5G Advanced Network Technology Evolution White Paper 2.0. Thank you for your joint output, and let us witness this exciting moment here. Please let all industry representatives join us in the launch. 5G Evolution Network peers, congratulations on the launch of 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a Network Perspective White Paper 2.0. Next, let's invite Lu Lu, Vice Director of Fundamental Network and IT Technology Department, China Mobile Research Institute, to explain the 5G Advanced Network Evolution in depth. Dear colleagues in the industry and experts, I'm Lu Lu from China Mobile. I'm glad to have this opportunity to introduce and release 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a Network Perspective White Paper 2.0 on behalf of more than 20 partners involved. Currently, 5G has been widely deployed around the world. By the end of December last year, 200 operators have put 5G into commercial use, 487 operators have invested in 5G, and 99 operators have built 5G SA networks. China Mobile has built the world's largest commercial 5G SA network based on advanced technological innovation. We built more than 700,000 5G SA sites, 250 million 5G package customers, 120 million network customers, and more than 4,000 commercial 5G projects. Currently, more than 2,900 cities in China have provided 5G network services. The construction of 5G premium networks cannot be achieved without technological innovation. Our extensive coverage, advanced technologies, excellent performance, green efficiency, and customization enhancement have laid a solid foundation for the commercial deployment of 5G networks. As you know, R18 is the first version of the 5G advanced phase, so the industry has paid a lot of attention. In June and September 2021, 3GPP organized workshops on RAN SA R18 respectively, and determined 56 projects on RAN SA R18 at the end of December last year. Among the 56 projects, there are some hot projects, including duplex evolution, artificial intelligence, and direct link communication enhancement. These projects have also gained great attention from the industry. In terms of SA, the XRM project has won the support of 82 companies, which is one of the most popular projects in the R18 SA projects. In addition, there are some related projects including end-to-end deterministic network, big data, and intelligent analysis, which constitute the 56 projects we have already had in R18. China Mobile is making great contributions to the standardization of 3GPP. Since the first 5G version of R15, we have led over 90 projects and submitted over 7,000 documents in 3GPP. Technical contributions and organizational influence are currently the first among global carriers. We will also actively undertake the responsibilities of this industry and make a more important contribution to the construction and the prosperity of the 5G industry ecosystem. As you can see, R15 laid the foundation for 5G development. At this time, we took the lead in the SBA architecture of 5G SA and the standardization of the new air interface. R16 further consolidated our capability triangle on the basis of R15. At this stage, our leading standard is also ranked number 1. We further expanded our capabilities in R17. At this stage, we led the Network and Wireless Intelligence project. In R18, the project initiated by us is also the number 1. We will continue leading multiple key technologies of 5G-Advanced and work with the industry to promote standard formulation. As White Paper 2.0 is released today, I'd like to review the 5G-Advanced technology evolution from a network perspective White Paper 1.0 released last September. In this white paper, we proposed convergence, enablement, and wisdom, or rather intelligence, and analyzed and elaborated the concept of 5G advanced network development for the first time. 16 key technical directions mentioned in this white paper have been reflected in R18 of 3GPP SA2. It can also be said that the white paper has promoted the consensus of the industry on the technical direction and the development of global standards. Today, we will release the 5G Advanced Technology Evolution from a Network Perspective White Paper 2.0 based on the 1.0 to further reach a consensus. We will look forward to the research on new technologies of R18 and carry out some requirements for R19. Therefore, we are working with 24 partners again to publish our own white paper on network technology evolution. So I'm going to take a two-part overview as some of the new content in the version 2.0. First, in the 2.0, we have added 3 new technical directions for R18 project, including XR, media service enhancement, AI, machine learning, and proximity-based communication. These 3 projects are also included in 3GPP SA2 and have passed the R18 project initiation. The XR and Media Service Enhancement project is a new capability of the 5G network. By supporting the multi-stream collaboration of XR and touch services, the open network capability is further supported to support the iteration of 5G systems and applications, which is an enhancement of a new capability for 2C users. In terms of AI, a new project of R18 is to use the 5G network to assist the rapid completion of the AI training model at the application layer, to sense the behavior of the terminal and to send the adapted AI model to the terminal, and to support federated learning at the application layer. Wireless resources can be used more efficiently. In addition, PC5 NR communication is used to enable direct communication between UEs to access the 5G network. These 3 directions are newly added in the 2.0 white paper. It is also a consensus in R18. On the other hand, in this white paper, we have introduced 3 other technical directions that have already reached a certain consensus or preliminary consensus. We think that these 3 technical directions should be oriented towards R19 or later versions. This is reflected in our standards. First, the Mobile Computing Power Awareness Network is introduced into the 5G network to implement a sense of computing power resources. This enables more flexible scheduling of services to implement computing power sharing among multiple computing power nodes. Therefore, a more intelligent and unified orchestration and scheduling is implemented based on unified scheduling and management of network resources and computing resources. The second direction is passive IoT. I think that this direction has a certain consensus in the industry. It uses technologies such as backscattering and energy harvesting to achieve the efficient transfer of information in the case of lithium batteries or passive sources. This is significant for us to further expand the scope of the industry. The third direction is positioning, ranging, and perception enhancement, and this direction is also based on very high consensus in the industry. So the position, angle, distance, and the velocity of the object are sensed with low-cost precision. The independent perception and analysis capabilities of the core network are enhanced so as to implement multi-dimensional and multi-granularity environment perception and target perception. This further expands the basic communication capability, extends the basic communication capability to a new perception dimension, and further expands the value of a network. We would like to make a point about this white paper. The 5G-Advanced has received great attention from the industry. It can be said that it is an intermediate version between 5G and 6G. At present, the industry has high expectations for it. Therefore, we urge the industry to work together to promote the next stop of our 5G from three aspects: innovation, standards, and industry. First of all, we need to further focus on high-value services, further release the value of 5G network, and enable the development of the 5G industry. Second, we hope to further strengthen international collaboration and promote the convergence and unification of 5G advanced standards at a global level. Finally, we also hope to gather the strength of all sectors of the industry to promote prototype development and a further collaboration in prototype development and the standards. Finally, I'd like to thank industry partners for their strong support for the white paper. We also hope that we can work with industry partners to gather together and develop together in the 5G Advanced era to promote sustainable development of the 5G Advanced. Thank you very much for her wonderful speech. The core network has always been the first to use new generational technologies. What new technologies would the 5.5G core network be produced? Next, Jason Dai, president of the Business Development Department of Huawei Cloud Core Network product line, will explain how. Hi everyone, I'm Jason Dai from Huawei Cloud Core Network product line. I'm glad to share with you some thoughts on 5G network evolution from the core network perspective. As we all know, the future evolution of any generation of mobile communications technologies is driven by both technology and business perspectives. 5G has already reached hundreds of millions of users and has been initially entered into thousands of industries. The evolution has also generated some new impetus from these two perspectives. For example, from the 2C market, 5G has supported hundreds of millions of users. From the perspective of individual users with new experience, network speed is faster. However, from a business perspective, there is often no new business. It may take a long time for the metaverse to be a reality in the next 3 to 5 years. The industry has high expectations for the AR, VR, XR business. After breaking through some bottlenecks related to the industry ecosystem, we foresee that it will enter the mobile communications network on large scale. However, 5G needs to further improve its capability to better support XR services. From the digital perspective of this industry, 5G gives a very high expectation to us to enable various industries. Now 5G has made some progress, including IT and production assistance networks, but it has not yet entered the real production network. To enter the production network, we need to further improve reliability, latency, and certainty, or rather deterministic. All of this needs to be further addressed through the evolution of 5G. From the technical dimension, the mobile core network has always been the fastest field to introduce new technologies. In the 2-3G era, the core network took the lead in transforming DDM to IP. In the 4G era, the all-cloud technology was embraced and NFV and SDN were introduced. In the 6G era, we believe that AI native is the first to be applied during the 5G evolution. These are the driving forces of the evolution of 5G from technical and commercial perspectives. Huawei has also done a lot of work on 5G evolution from the perspectives of industry, key technologies, and standards. In 2020, the industry first proposed the evolution of 5G, which was called 5.5G. In last year's Huawei Analyst Summit in April, we proposed DOICT, a technical feature of core network evolution. In August last year, during the World 5G Convention, we cooperated with more than 20 mobile operators in the industry, including some carriers in China and leading global partners, to define the key technical features of the 5G evolution. In December last year, 3GPP completed the phase definition of the first major version of 5G, R18. More than 20 topics entered phase 2. Huawei also acted as a reporter for multiple topics. Coming back to core network domain, we believe that 5G evolution has the following characteristics. From the technical dimension, we consider it as DT, CT, OT, IT convergence. We call it DOICT. There are three key characteristics. From network perspective, it will be more convergent and intelligent. From the topology perspective, it is a super distributed system. With a distributed gateway, the network topology becomes more distributed with the introduction of MEC. The following is a brief introduction to DOICT. First, traditional CT needs to be enhanced. As mentioned earlier, the entire network needs to be further improved in terms of capacity and experience assurance for the AR, VR, and XR services. Take cloud VR as an example. We all know that a traffic burst of hundreds of megabit per second or even gigabit per second occurs within a few milliseconds when the head is turned. In addition, the XR service has multiple audio and video streams which need to be synchronized. According to our experience in live network, on typical cellular network, a cell can support only 3 to 5 cloud VR users, which is a long way from the universal implementation of this service. Therefore, in 3GPP R18, XR service enhancement is a top 1 topic and is widely regarded in this industry. During the 5G evolution, we hope that the service and the network integration can be deeply implemented to better sense the characteristics of XR services. The enhanced QoS, RAN joint scheduling, and dedicated slices are introduced to greatly improve scheduling efficiency and resource utilization, ensuring user experience. In addition, the network capacity is increased by 3 to 5 times. This is an evolution of CT technology itself. From the OT perspective, the so-called operation technology, it needs to go deep in various industries. Currently in industry, energy, and the internet, it only enters the production assistance network. To enter the real production network, it needs to introduce more OT technologies, provide deterministic latency and reliability. Therefore, the 5G network needs to be further enhanced to provide better support for TSN and the various mainstream industrial protocols. By understanding some of their features, we can introduce certain key technologies from RAN to core network, including high-precision gating, high-precision clock, and dual FAD and selective receiving. In addition, we can access industrial terminals through 5G LAN to truly enter the industrial field network. With the continuous evolution of network, the network itself becomes more and more complex. For example, Cloud Native introduces the Cloud OS and the cross-hardware. The CaaS is introduced with a container. Therefore, layered network deployment brings extra maintenance complexity. In addition, the number of sites on the distributed network will be increased by 10 times or even 100 times. Therefore, the reliability of this network is subject to many challenges. In this regard, the so-called data technology needs to be introduced. Real-time monitoring, data collection, data analysis, and AI for network can be implemented to realize real-time monitoring and closed loop. In this way, network planning, construction, maintenance, and optimization can be greatly simplified. When a fault occurs, we can find the root cause within 5 milliseconds. In addition, network planning, construction, maintenance, and optimization will be completed within a short period of time when the network is changed. All this requires DT, which enables the network to evolve from L3 to L4 in autonomous driving network. And finally, there is IT technology itself. As the cloud technology evolves, there is a chemistry between network and computing. We believe that 5G MEC is also getting more deployments, mobile edge computing, but we are trying to support more business cases, including future car connection, including some new network use cases for metaverse and Industry 4.0. Computing and a network connection require further and deep coupling and then chemical reactions. So we also propose the concept of a Mobile Computing Network, MCN. Not only do we share a common cloud infrastructure, but the network and computing are also deeply coupled. The network needs to open its QoS and the positioning and other new capabilities. This truly creates a network of computing and connectivity. Therefore, with the evolution of the 5G core network, we now evolve the DOICT to make more commercial and technical possibilities. Here, I also call on the whole industry to make joint efforts to accelerate the whole industrialization process. That's my introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dai, for your wonderful speech. I believe that 5.5G core network with DOICT capability will provide more possibilities for industry innovation. In the next session, we invite Monica Zethzen, Ericsson's Vice President and Head of Packet Core, and Peter Jarek, Head of GSM Intelligence, to introduce 5G advanced technology developments and future trends.
We see that 5G is the fastest growing technology in the history of mobile networks. And we at Ericsson are the proud partner of service providers globally, today powering more than 100 5G networks on all continents. We also see that 5G is growing faster than 4G, and we expect that it will reach 1 billion users 2 years earlier than what we saw for 4G. And if we look ahead at 2027, we believe that by that point in time, there will be half of all mobile subscriptions will be based on 5G. 3GPP has labeled the evolution from release 18 and onwards as 5G-Advanced. The scope of 3GPP release 18 was just concluded, and work has now started on release 18 and expected to continue until the end of 2023. It's also important to note that 5G-Advanced will be the foundation and the stepping stones for the upcoming 6G standardization. In 3GPP release 18, just as in previous releases, there are both improvements in the system architecture as well as new capabilities to address new segments. And as Ericsson is a leading force in 5G, it's important for us to make sure that we support both our customers and how they in their turn can support their customers' needs. With this in mind, there are 5 elements of new use cases and functionality in 5G-Advanced that we want to focus on. One is the intelligent automation. The second one is extended reality. Number 3, the reduced capability devices known as RedCap. It's also energy efficiency, primarily for the RAN networks, as sustainability is critical for all of us. And lastly, deterministic networking for IoT. AI model design and lifecycle management relies heavily on data. In mobile networks, there is a generation of large amounts of data, which in terms means that they're well suited to be approached and leveraged intelligent network solutions. In 5G Core, NWDAF is a network function for data analytics. In 5G-Advanced, this will be further enhanced by improvements in the architecture as well as the ML model lifecycle management. We will also work on use cases to have network functions leveraging analytics to support their decision making. 5G-Advanced will provide a greater support for extended reality. Today, there are several things that are impacting delay in XR-type applications, such as protocols, congestions, mobility, device power savings. So now in release 18, we will work to address all of these shortcomings. In addition, in the 5G core, we can also support lower power XR devices by offloading the process need from the application, from the UE to the edge. The work with reduced capability devices, RedCap, started already in release 17, and will now in release 18, we will take IoT to the next level. RedCap devices is a mechanism to have very affordable connectivity in IoT, very relevant for segments such as entertainment and transportation. It also is full support for 5G NR, it's a native support for 5G core, and very flexible deployments, which is supported through an unprecedented range of frequency bands. Ericsson is a leader in 5G, and we are highly committed to continue the work to support the industry in the path to 5G Advanced. 5G Advanced builds on the foundation of all the development that has been done on the previous generations leading up to release 18. With this as a foundation, we will continue to work with 5G Advanced, which will bring important improvements in areas such as intelligent automation, extended reality, reduced capability devices, energy efficiencies, as well as deterministic networking for IoT. In addition, it's also the foundation for the future stepping stones leading up to 6G. With 5G Advanced, we continue to support the industry and deliver new capabilities both for existing and new market segments. It will also be the path forward where we continue to see benefits both for consumers, enterprises, and the society.
Hi everyone, my name is Peter Jarek. I'm the head of GSMA Intelligence, and I'm excited to be here today to talk about 5G Advanced. Particularly excited to be here for the launch of the 2.0 version of the 5G Advanced Technology Evolution white paper. I was here last year for the launch of the 1.0 version, and we talked a bit about, but really some of our thoughts about where we needed to be going with 5G Advanced, what it needed to be delivering. Excited to be here a year later to talk about how far we've come, but also provide a reminder of why 5G Advanced is so important, what we hope we'll be doing with it. For those of you who don't know who GSMA Intelligence is, we are the research and consulting arm of the GSMA. It means it's my team's job to deliver the research and insights that help the industry be successful. You see an example of some of the recent research we've done, focused on things like FWA, IoT, consumer behavior. You see some data here, indications of the amount of data that we have, the areas that we're focused on. Basically, our job to help you in the mobile industry be successful. If you're a customer, thank you. If you're not and you want some more information, please reach out. So with that, let's move on. I think as much as we're here to talk about 5G Advanced, I want to start with a reminder of where we are in the 5G era. So for years, we were talking about what will happen when we get to the 5G era. And it's important to remember we're there now, right? This is some data from one of our recent 5G quarterly updates. And I won't go into it because I think we all recognize it, right? We have operators around the world which have launched 5G. We have many trials taking place for operators who have it. We have spectrum allocations which are supporting this. We hear over and over again that 5G connections have scaled faster than 3G, faster than 4G, and it's true, the data bears it out. We are firmly in the 5G era. But as soon as we've arrived at the 5G era, it's important to recognize, and I think we all would have seen this from the news last year, continuing to this year, we started talking about 6G. So at the end of last year, there was a 6G forum taking place by the Royal Academy of Engineering. And this slide here gives an indication, the chart on the right hand, of who showed up. Research organizations from around the world, right? 6G is a big focus for lots and lots of folks. And I think on the left-hand side, you see this reflected in some research that we did when we went and we talked to operators the middle of last year. And we asked them, have you been briefed by your infrastructure vendors on 6G? Now, the fact that most said no, the fact that about 85% said no, they hadn't heard the story, only about 15% had, may seem like it means, well, for the most part, it's no. But the fact that we're talking about a technology that will arrive in 2030, and 15% of operators have already heard from their vendors, says this is a big topic. 6G is definitely a big topic. But one of the reasons why it's such a big topic, and I think we see here on this slide, is again this chart on the left-hand side. So again, in that research, after we asked operators if they'd heard from their vendors about 6G, we asked them, well, what do you expect it to, and do you expect that 6G R&D will help improve your 5G services? And the vast majority said yes. So I think I want to pause here because this is really important. What we're saying here is that 6G is a big focus. We're in the 5G era, but there is this expectation that 6G is important because it will help to improve what we're doing with 5G. So we're at a midpoint here, right, where we need these improvements from 6G R&D, 6G thoughts, 6G visions to help us improve what we're doing with 5G. And that's so important because it really leads into discussion around 5G Advanced. And it helps to explain, here on this next slide, that as much as there's been hype around 6G, we've seen lots and lots of 5G Advanced progress. Particularly last year, from the middle toward the end of last year, we saw all of the major vendors talking about what they were doing, right? Coming together, saying, look, here's why we need 5G Advanced. Here's what we're doing with it. Here's where the standards are going, right? Lots of messaging that it started with, in many ways, the paper from last year, right? We see this update with the 2.0 version, Other vendors, other organizations help to provide their input as well. But again, it's a very simple point. We know 6G is in the future. We have 5G today. We need a middle point, and that's what 5G-Advanced provides. So with that context out of the way, let's get into the question of what we will actually do with 5G-Advanced. Now, you can look at the standards in a bunch of ways and the messaging in a bunch of ways, or focus on specific use cases or technologies. But as we look at that at GSMA Intelligence, what we see is you can really break it down into two things. One, scaling today's 5G. And I'll start there, because we all know the basic 5G use cases, right? eMBB, massive IoT, ultra reliable communications, and in many ways, 5G Advanced is just about improving on those, right? Better eMBB with more capacity in more places to support high definition video communications, more broadband services, things like FWA, and you see an example of that on the left-hand side here, right? We know FWA is big, but for all those, we know we will need more capacity with better coverage, right? Better IoT, right? Yes, massive IoT is a big part of 5G. Improving upon that, improving on what we've done with baseline 5G will be important. And what does that mean? Again, more coverage, better mobility, but particularly lower cost IoT. So we're not just talking about IoT for really high value use cases, but IoT for massive use cases, right? That massive IoT that we always talked about. What does that mean? That means lower cost devices, but also more power efficient devices, right? Lower power consumption, even going to passive, right? Passive devices, which will bring tons of benefits, particularly in terms of power consumption that are out there in the field. Finally, better URLLC. Mostly, again, improvements on slicing. That latency side of things is critical. Yes, coverage, capacity will be critical. Latency side of things is key, right? We talked about determinism last year. Again, the focus here will be how do we look at determinism in terms of slicing to support those use cases, right? And you see here on the left-hand side of things, when we talk with operators, where do we see them focus on IoT? Financial services, manufacturing. As much as we want to scale IoT to make it massive, we also need to support those high-value use cases. And things like financial services, like manufacturing, will have latency requirements, reliability requirements that we need to meet. 5G Advanced is a critical part of that. But beyond today's 5G, a big focus of 5G Advanced needs to be looking at tomorrow, moving beyond today's 5G to new services, new use cases that will help operators, help the industry grow. One of those that's getting a lot of attention, extended reality and broadband communications. Now we can think about those in whatever way you want, right? Whether it's high def video communications, for sure. We're all used to a lot more of that in the Zoom and Teams and the world of video conferencing, but also AR, VR, XR, I'll say it, the metaverse, right? The metaverse is getting a lot of attention. 5G Advanced is firmly focused on that, right? With improvements to support things like AR, VR, improvements to support better video communications, real-time communications, right? What does that mean? Again, a lot of this comes back to the same things, more capacity in more places with latency improvements, but also with improvements to measure how we support those, so KPIs to make sure we're delivering on the capabilities that are required for all of that, right? And I think we know it's a buzzword. We're going to continue to hear a lot about that. But then the other part that we hear a lot about from 5G Advanced, precision, positioning, and sensing. Here we're talking about being able to track things like unmanned vehicles in factories or people, whether that's in a B2B sense, how we're tracking workers and where they're going and are they in the right places, to how we're tracking, let's say, people, whether it's children or elderly folks that we want to make sure that we're taking care of. And how do we move that from a meter level of accuracy to a centimeter level of accuracy? And mostly, right, it's about how do we keep track of important assets, things that we really care about, right? And again, beyond sort of the basics, and I talked about this around XR and AR and VR and the metaverse, beyond just the improvements in capacity, improvements in accuracy and how we make those measurements, what we're talking about are ways to actually have the KPIs to figure out how well we're doing. And of course, and I put this at the end, enhanced uplink. Most of this, and particularly the broadband communications, but a lot of the other applications that I mentioned before will require improved uplink. So you'll see a lot of focus on that in the discussion around 5G Advanced. So how are we going to do this? Well, there's a handful of technologies, Lots and lots that will take place around release 18, building on 16 and 17 and going forward. But from our perspective, you can break this into really a handful of things, right? Whether it's in the radio access network or the core network. Radio access network, a lot more antenna innovation, right? And that includes enhanced MIMO, beamforming, and then of course on the radio side, duplexing innovations. Perhaps most importantly, AI integration. Building AI into all of what we do in the RAN to improve capabilities, deliver those improved capacities and latencies. Of course, I mentioned lower cost IoT. That's where we see things like reduced capability or RedCap IoT. And I didn't mention this, but a big focus has been in terms of how do we look at satellite use cases and drone use cases, pulling those into the RANs. I think there'll be a lot of interesting stuff going on there. And I mentioned coverage a number of times. That's where things like relays and side-link fit in. On the core network side of things, you see a lot of synergies with the RAN, but some that are also unique, right? Distribution. How do we push computing out towards the edge of the network to support new use cases, particularly low latency ones like AR, VR, XR, real-time broadband communications? QoE and slicing, I mentioned that. That needs to be supported from the core. AI integration, just like the RAN, we'll need to see that in the core, whether that's in terms of automated service delivery or how we roll out networks. Finally, I think a big focus here will be convergence. Right? And convergence in a number of places. I talked about satellite, right? So how do we integrate those satellite networks with terrestrial, right? Mobile and Wi-Fi, we've always talked about the convergence there. That will continue, fixed and mobile, particularly with FWA. And then of course, convergence across verticals. Right? How do we support multiple verticals with one network? It's always been a focus on 5G. 5G-Advanced will take that forward. Finally, and I put this as a horizontal layer below everything, sustainability and energy efficiency. Big focus for operators, big focus for the energy. 5G-Advanced really plays into that, particularly in terms of power consumption. So with that, I want to say thank you very much. It's been an honor to be here. I hope this was helpful. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you very much.
感谢 Monica。
Thank you, Monica and Peter, for their in-depth interpretation of 5G advanced technology developments and future trends. After the speeches of experts, we have got a preliminary understanding of the technical details and future development trend of 5G advanced. Next, let's invite Mr. Richard Liu, President of Huawei Cloud Core Network product line, to give a concluding speech for the launch. Please. Hello, everyone. I'm Liu Kang from Huawei. Thank you for joining us in the MWC 2022 to discuss the future of 5G network technology development and witness the release of 5G Advanced Network Technology Evolution White Paper 2.0. In our view, the main driving force of future network evolution lies in the two aspects: vision for the future and industry challenges. In terms of the future, the high-quality video services represented by XR have high expectations in the industry. How to increase the number of XR service connections while ensuring the incredible user experience and make XR service more popular is a new requirement. 5.5G introduces a series of XR enhancement to optimize network capabilities, such as QoS scheduling and mobility management, as well as closed-loop SLA control based on network application synergy. This greatly increases the number of XR connections and achieves affordable and high-quality XR services. We also envisage that in the future, networks can enable various industries. Industry applications require deterministic services. 5.5G uses native dual transmit selective receiving technique and industrial UPF and ultra-high reliability and ultra-low latency to meet service requirements of various industries, enabling industry applications. We believe that with the widespread use of 5.5G technologies in the industry, 5G networks will bring greater value to the industry. The era of 5G for everyone and 5G for all industries is coming. As 5G is becoming part of the essential ICT infrastructure, we are also facing a super large and complex network. How to simplify O&M becomes a global challenge. In addition, as networks become more distributed and more integration is expected between aerial and terrestrial networks, how to evolve and integrate network architecture becomes another global topic. All these topics need to be addressed by the industry. In the past year, China Mobile, Huawei, and other partners have worked together to make the first attempt to promote 5G advanced network innovation and solve global challenges. promoting standards development and application exploration to accelerate the breakthrough of new technologies and implementation of new scenarios. We are here today to launch the 5G-Advanced Core Lab. We will deepen cooperation in standards, technologies, and industry engagement through joint innovation projects and technology topics. We believe that through the joint efforts of experts from both sides, we will play a greater role in 5G network technology innovation and make more contributions to the development of 5G industry. Let's work together to light up the future, embrace the future. Thank you, everyone. Looking back over the past year, China Mobile and Huawei have achieved many achievements in 5G advanced technology innovation. As stated by Mr. Richard Liu, Huawei and China Mobile have been committed to 5G advanced network technology innovation and solving global challenges to further promote industry standardization, accelerate the breakthrough of new technologies and implementation of new scenarios. Today, we are launching the 5G Advanced Core Lab. Please watch the clip.
5G-Advanced Core Lab 成立。
This is the end of the launch of the white paper. If you want to know more information about 5G Advanced, please visit the official website of China Mobile and Huawei. We will keep updating the latest development of 5G Advanced in the future. China Mobile and Huawei will continue to work with other partners and focus on the key business scenarios and make breakthroughs in innovation and set the pace for standardization of 5G, promoting the 5G Advanced focus from requirement definition to business design, helping the digitalization of various industries. Thank you for listening.